Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Dorkside. For this episode, it's going to be a little special because we are going to be reviewing Summer Slam 2019, which for the most part was a pretty decent show, and I don't know about the rest of my team here that I have, but NXT TakeOver was kind of garbage. And that's just from my personal opinion. But overall, I think SummerSlam itself was actually better than NXT, which a lot of people are going to disagree with me. But with that aside, I am joined here by my two buddies. We have my buddy Will the Thrill here. Say what's up to everybody.
How's everyone doing? And Will would just suffice. That's fine.
Will the Thrill sounds so much cooler, my dude. So
yeah, not really. I mean, if you're a porn star, yes. But other than that...
What was the homeboy's name? Val Venus. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Val Venus was a thing, man. You could be the next, with a towel and hey, ladies and all that kind of stuff.
I just don't have that kind of game, unfortunately. I'll
Dude,
just be honest on that.
None of us do. All right, and we're joined up by my other buddy, which is Will the Thrill's brother. Adrian 3000. What's going on, Adrian? Say what's up to everybody.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me, Batmom.
Right on, man. So, again, we're going to be reviewing SummerSlam 2019. SummerSlam, in my opinion, I think you guys would agree, is probably the second biggest show that WWE offers right behind WrestleMania, in my opinion at least. I know some people like Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble. For me personally, I've always liked SummerSlam. That's why I've always been my second favorite pay-per-view. So what about you guys?
For me, it'd be WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, yeah. What about you?
I would say definitely, aside from WrestleMania, definitely SummerSlam's my favorite.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember when I was a kid, SummerSlam, I always loved watching SummerSlam with my brother. That was, again, one of my favorite pay-per-views, and always had some of my favorite matches. And I think this one was pretty good. So, Adrian, what do we got for the first match?
All right, first match on the kickoff show was for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Lorcan. Lorcan versus Drew Gulak coming in as the champion.
Yeah. Now, what was the point of bringing the Cruiserweight title match back to making it a thing again when they just don't seem to care about the title whatsoever?
Well, I think it's kind of the same thing as the women's tag. They don't seem to really care about it. A lot of the women's things, they don't seem to care as soon as Ronda Rousey left, almost. But I think it's just, in the end, major filler.
Right.
The pre-show.
Yeah. But why do you suppose that they're not even having it on the week-to-week show instead of it has its own 205 live show on the network? How come they're not even pushing these guys at all on the mainstream anymore? Do you think that'll change when AEW comes around and AEW tends to have those more types of wrestlers?
I think if WWE wants to, I'm not going to say survive AEW, but
right.
They definitely have to listen to their fans more on what they want, and that does mean those wrestlers in the Cruiserweight division, they can sell. They can put on a good show.
And that's the thing, they're all really good wrestlers. Yeah. They can all throw down. I haven't seen a crappy Cruiserweight, in my opinion. I think they just all need gimmicks. Really, you can only do so much with your spot wrestling.
Or time to develop on TV.
Do something, just do something. They're all so bland personality wise. You know what I mean? So we had who wrestled in this match again?
It was only Lorcan.
Lorcan and Drew Gulak. So I actually really like Drew Gulak.
Oh yeah, he was one of my favorites out of the Cruiserweight.
The 205.
One of the original.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna be completely honest and say that this is literally my first time seeing both of those two wrestlers fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I actually liked it a lot. I was impressed by both of them.
Okay. Now, honestly, did any of us really care about this match, though?
No. Not at all.
At all.
No.
And that's kind of what I'm talking about, where they're not developing any type of character or anything like that. They're not even developing storylines for these guys, really.
Well, they're not really doing that on the main roster either.
They're not. Well, it's more so than the Cruiserweights, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but still, I really didn't care. And who took that match home?
That was Drew Gulak retaining.
Okay, so he retained the title, and that really cool purple strap. I actually really like that title belt, to be honest with you.
It's not bad.
It took me some getting used to, but yeah, it looks nice. I do like it.
Yeah. So, pretty decent match. What do you guys give that on a scale of, say, 1 to 5?
1 to 5, 3 out of 5. I mean, that was a decent enough match, but nothing really spectacular.
Yeah, you?
This is my first time watching them. I liked what I saw, so I'm gonna go with the mark of 4 out of 5.
4 to 5. Yeah, I'm probably about the same. I'm probably about around I'd say probably in the middle, 3.5. 3.5. Good match, no story. That's I need some type of story, dude, when it comes to these guys. You know what I mean?
It was definitely a pre-show match.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen so much.
And it was the opening match of the pre-show. You know what I mean? So.
I'm kind of used to like watching these matches that have some kind of light backstory with almost no backstory.
Right.
Because I've been watching a lot of New Japan.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, just kind of like just dropping in, watching these matches.
Right.
So I'm kind of used to like not having a storyline. I just enjoy the fighting themselves. I just try to watch for
and
that.
that's pretty much all you're gonna get from the cruiserweight division. So, anyways, all right, moving on. What's next?
Well, we did have some shenanigans with Carmella and R-Truth and
Okay,
Drake Maverick.
this was during like those little interview things where they're just talking about the show and upcoming show and things like that, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so I'll set it up here. So who do we have? We had Otunga. He was there.
Otunga,
Coach. Oh, that's right. Coach Moon was there.
Beth
Phoenix. Was Mick Foley there still?
Mick Foley, I don't believe was there. I think it was Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry the King Lawler. Okay.
He's still recovering from the Fiend
And Booker T.
Booker T. There we go. Okay, yeah, there it was. So then Drake Maverick comes around, passing his flyers, looking for R-Truth. And he's saying, have you seen R-Truth? And they're just like, what the hell are you talking about? Blah, blah. You're insane, dude. You suck, blah, blah. And you guys notice how little he is?
Yeah. No,
he's eye level.
He's
eye level with the people that are sitting down. That was super funny to me. I don't know why. And I know he's a little person. He's always been a little. He was Rockstar Spud. And I knew he was little, but damn, that was a very big tell of his size.
I saw this YouTube video with him. It was actually the Iconics when they first won their tag championships and they're putting the plates on their belts.
Yeah.
And they're going around and hassling random people in the office. And one of them was Drake Maverick. And they actually towered over him.
I believe it. I totally, yeah.
Oh, and they believe it. It was a funny video.
So then what do we see after that?
Well, I mean, the main thing was that R-Truth, Carmella were actually hiding underneath the table the whole time.
The announce table, yeah.
If they went into a popcorn throwing spot.
Yeah, Drake Maverick threw some popcorn at R-Truth, and then R-Truth threw some popcorn back.
What I think was really funny about that.
Now, did they sell the popcorn?
No.
No, that was a plug for, was it Orville Redenbacher or something like that?
So they did sell.
That was
in
a total plug.
way.
Yeah.
What I found funny is that when Drake Maverick threw some popcorn at R-Truth, some of it dared to get on Booker T, and you could hear Booker T under his breath. Oh hell no!
Did he really?
He was.
I don't even think I noticed
mad.
that.
He was visually mad.
He has no right. He sold popcorn with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's true.
He sold a lot of stuff.
He sold milk.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I didn't even notice it, to be honest with you.
That, to me, I thought was the funniest part of the whole spot. Was just seeing Booker T get so mad about popcorn.
Some of that butter get on that fresh coat.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, in my opinion, Booker T sells really good. So he could have just been going with it. At the same time, you don't know, because he probably could have been like genuinely pissed.
Because
He was wearing a nice suit.
Yeah, he was.
And every so often with Booker, he'll send out a tweet out of nowhere being angry about nothing.
That's true. All right, so after this, what do we got?
We got Apollo Crews versus Buddy Murphy.
Okay, now I don't know about you guys, but I love Buddy Murphy. That dude is super awesome. He's such a good wrestler. He has the attitude and stuff. He has the ferocity that I think he needs to make it like somewhat bigger. I think he's he could be a really good mid-carder. Hopefully now with this whole like Roman Reigns thing that they're doing, it seems like they're trying to build up his character a little more. So hopefully that happens. So what did you guys think about this match with Apollo Crews?
I wasn't too big of a fan of his before this.
Buddy Murphy or Cruz?
Buddy Murphy.
Okay.
Because I rarely ever saw him. I was barely exposed to him because, once again, he was in the cruiserweight for such a long time.
Right.
And if not, just not used, period.
Yeah.
So these two matches were my real first exposures to them. I like Buddy Murphy.
Right.
I like what he has to offer. I like his moveset.
He's just a good wrestler, dude.
He's good.
Like, damn, he's a good wrestler.
I've heard some talk of like him and Roman, that match being the best match of 2019 so far.
I can see that. Yeah. What about you? What'd you think?
I thought it was a decent enough match. I wish we could have seen more because we all know what happened at the end.
Yeah.
We got cut short, gypped a little.
Yeah.
But, I like Apollo Crews, and I'm very quickly becoming a huge fan of Buddy Murphy.
Now, what?
I think Apollo Crews and Buddy Murphy, that was a good way to match. That was a good matchup.
Yeah.
Why do you guys suppose Apollo Crews is going nowhere?
Vince.
Think so?
Yeah, I think
he just doesn't believe in him.
Doesn't believe in him. I think there's a large number of wrestlers that he just doesn't believe in, that he's just gonna constantly squash.
Now, do you think that's because of his size?
Yeah, because
is it because of other reasons?
Yeah. Let's be honest.
A little bit of column A.
A little bit of column B.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how often do we see a great independent style wrestler that WWE brings in,
Right.
and all of a sudden they put him against Baron Corbin, Elias, or some other tall guy, and it's just like, oh, I'm bigger than you, so you suck.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of that storyline.
And the thing is, I just think he has no personality.
No, not at all.
He's very bland. He comes out and smiles and then does his cool tricks. And
I
that's
think because he has to listen to what Vince wants. He's too scared of rattling the cage.
You think so?
I think so.
Maybe.
I think it's a yes, not yes man, but I just think he wants to listen and do what he's told, and you know, I think he thinks that's probably his version of grabbing the brass ring.
You know, and I don't know if you guys heard the Dean Ambrose interview.
Nice guy.
The Dean Ambrose interview he was talking about
we heard it.
how he's there are some guys at the behind the stage and whatnot, or behind the set, excuse me. How some guys are very anti, not doing what the establishment wants to, and then there's those guys that are just perfectly happy just being there. You know what I mean? He's like, well, I'll take the orders, fine, whatever, no big deal. Do you think Apollo Crews is kind of like that guy?
How do you measure success?
How many titles you win? Shoot.
How many years are you signed to that contract making cash and stacking your bank account at the same time?
Yeah.
He might be one of those guys.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, just out of sheer longevity.
Yeah, I mean, we might not see that as successful.
I mean, think of it. He could even be like one of those guys like Kofi, who doesn't hit his stride until 12 years later. You know what I mean? Who knows?
I also think who's really clamoring for Apollo Crews.
Well, I think that's the way. That's booking.
Promotion.
Trying to tell me you don't have an Apollo Crews shirt? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just trying to say, like, are people breaking down his doors with offers to join their promotion?
Right.
Let's put this one. When he first hit the scene,
and again, I think that's part of his personality. He has to sell himself in some type of way, and he's not doing anything.
But when he was part of this, when he first hit the scene, though, he impressed a lot of people. It was just that booking.
But physically, he's fantastic. I think he's really good.
Right away.
And probably the best thing about his character that overall has been when he was with Titus Worldwide.
That was great.
That was the only thing that he was pretty decent, right? But
the fact that we know Vince was going to bury Titus Worldwide in the end, no matter what.
Yeah.
He was doomed to start from the beginning.
So overall, the match was pretty decent. I actually really did like it. Both those guys, I think, are extremely talented wrestlers. I think they're incredible. And who came out on top?
That was Buddy Murphy by disqualification.
Buddy Murphy.
Because of Eric Rowan.
Yeah, Eric Rowan came in.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
I mean, talking about
Okay.
I'm talking about the whole thing with
because he lied about
with Roman Reigns. I still say it was Rikishi.
Fake news. It ended up being fake news.
I still say it was Rikishi.
Twist.
That's a throwback.
Twist.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right. What's next?
Okay, after that, we got the Elias portion of the
so Elias comes out and does a little promo. So what do we got?
Is it classic Elias?
What happens?
Very classic Elias. Singing a song.
Talking stuff about the city.
About the sports teams.
Yeah. Because it was Toronto, right?
He's had some great reactions.
Great ones. Yeah, he's a good heel.
I love his bits.
Yeah, great heel.
His gimmick.
But the big story here was who interrupted him, and that happened to be Edge, and very of course came out to one of the biggest pops of the night,
right,
and proceeded to then bury Elias with a spear.
Okay, now here's the thing, I hate Edge, with a passion. He's in my top 3 most hated wrestlers of all time. I can't stand him. I don't get it. He has the most sissiest spear I've ever seen.
I'll say that spear is still trash.
It's garbage,
it's
dude.
Still trash.
It's garbage.
Okay, I will say this. There was one time that spear was amazing, and that was off the
ladder. Off the ladder.
That's the only time.
To Jeff Hardy, right?
Yeah, but
that was great. But that would have looked good with anybody getting cut in half in midair.
Okay, so I get that you hate him as a character and all that, but did you hate him in that tag team when they were going with the 3 of them?
Yes.
You still hated him.
I love Christian.
I love them all.
I love Christian. I could not stand Edge. He just seemed like such a tool. I didn't like him with the Brood. I didn't like him in any form. I didn't like him in his rated R when people loved him to death and thought he was the king of wrestling at the time. I hated him.
That whole era.
Everything about him just he's so boring to me. I don't get why people hype him up so much.
He's your Dolph Ziggler.
Probably worse. But no. Anyways, you guys hear that he's medically cleared to wrestle again.
What?
Well, hence he hit the spear. His first ever wrestling move.
So he's hold on, but check this out.
I thought he was one move away from.
Hold on. No, he's been having surgeries multiple times, just like Paige. Paige right now is still having neck surgeries to hopefully get better.
But she's young enough to come back.
But what I'm saying is that he's medically cleared but he's still not going to wrestle.
Yeah, okay.
He's already said, he's like, I'm glad I could do it, to do things like this, to do walk-on spots and hear things like that, and if he needs to do something a little physical, no big deal.
He can do it.
Because before, he couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So now he's making it clear to at least do that stuff. He probably could wrestle, but he says he's not 100% into it, and he can't do it anymore.
I do like him as a Hall of Famer, his regular everyday personality. When
I
he's
still
just
think he
talking
sucks.
and
No,
joking.
he sucks.
I do appreciate some of this stuff they do on the network, him and Christian.
Yeah, mostly because of Christian. Anyways, so they bury Elias. What is happening with this?
Ever since it seemed like he had a shot to be something, and then this whole Shane McMahon thing started happening where he got lumped in with that.
The black hole that is Shane McMahon.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like they basically just forgot about him. They just left him aside. Like, you know what, Elias, we made you miss your time, and you're going to suffer for it.
Yeah, that
At
sucks.
least Drew McIntyre was able to escape it.
Yeah, and that sucks, man, because Elias is so good. He's such a great heel. And I feel like he could be one of those guys that could be a heel his entire career, and it won't get stale.
Yeah.
He really could just carry that persona on forever, and he'd be great at it.
A great career Intercontinental champ.
Yeah.
I think, what was it, that
A
month
good
where he
heel.
was a face?
Yeah.
That didn't
It
work
did
out.
not
That
work
was
out.
horrible.
awkward.
I was like, no.
awkward.
That's why it didn't last long, because it's just not working, and everybody knew it, you know?
But I think right there, having to swap back and forth so quickly, that kind of killed his momentum.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
there.
we see it all the time. I mean, that killed a lot. That made Big Show annoying.
Yeah,
constantly they
exactly, yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Whenever people switch without reason, it really just kills their careers a lot.
Yeah. All right, so what do we got next after this?
Closing out the pre-show, we had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, the champions, versus the Iconics.
Okay, now, I love both these teams. I'm a super fan of the Iconics.
I love their
But
sense of
Alexa
humor.
Bliss is my queen, my goddess. I love her so much.
My future
now,
girlfriend.
You fucking wish. You're gonna have to,
I do.
You're gonna have to fight Buddy Murphy for that
Every
one.
night, and I'm willing.
So, all right.
I'm willing to take down Buddy Murphy.
So how'd you guys like this match? Because it started off, Alexa Bliss comes out with this really awesome Buzz Lightyear gear, which was super dope, and I hope they make an action figure of that. Nikki Cross is cool. It seems like it almost seems like they're kind of building them up to be faces in a way now.
100%
You know what I mean?
faces.
Yeah, they're become baby faces now, which is a little weird, but maybe that's part of the whole gimmick that they're gonna, go on to later.
They're their best as heels.
But Iconics came out, started talking shit with their massive, what do you call it? Their oh my god, their freaking accents. Yeah, their
Australian,
accents,
right?
like overly done, annoying accents.
Iconics.
Like they're so funny, and I just think they're great. And
I'm a huge fan of theirs and their sense of humor. They're
and,
great.
and that's the
They're
thing.
funny.
That's the thing that kind of pissed me off is that they won the titles. They're the longest reigning women's tag team champions. They did nothing with their characters during that time.
Completely wasted it.
What was the point? I don't get it.
I mean, I think they were just trying to go for, heel champions, always trying to find a way out of defending.
They literally only did that like twice.
They only had a couple matches.
Yeah.
That's it. They didn't get a chance.
They weren't giving them anything. And I know what you're talking about because they did do that like literally twice.
Yeah.
But they just weren't on TV. If you saw them on TV, they were just backstage doing nothing. They didn't even put them in squash matches.
It's just that kind of running theme that the women's division altogether is just an afterthought.
Whatever non-title matches they were in, they pretty much lost.
Yeah.
So that was pretty.
Or they lost by like DQ or something like that. And yeah. So anyways.
Because when they would win, they looked like competent wrestlers. They looked really good.
And when they do like double team moves and stuff, they nail it.
And
they're a tag team.
They're a great team.
I love Alexa Bliss. I love that. I do appreciate that tag team. I wish they would stay heels.
Yeah.
But once again, that's another person that's becoming a victim of the constant flip flop between heel character and good face character.
Who?
Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
They keep on turning her back and forth
per
episode.
I see. I don't think so. I think that's kind of a blindside. I think that's what they're doing with her because that's how I always take it. Because I think Alexa's going to be one of those characters who will forever be a heel. Like she'll have her moments of being face, and like they're doing with the whole thing with her and Nikki Cross. They're trying to get the point that she's a good guy now, and that's why she's making friends with Nikki Cross. But we all know it's BS.
The one thing
what I mean. So I think it's just kind of her playing the good guy for the moment, even though we all know it's a lie.
I feel that they're sold on the whole Alexa Bliss face, but the second it starts not to work, then they're going down that storyline where it's like, okay,
Right.
let's just flip it.
And I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what they were setting up to this. They're setting up to make her perceived to be a babyface, so that when she ultimately goes back to heel, it was a lie all the time, or pissed off. I mean, it's part of the storyline, and I get it. And she works it good. She's a great freaking heel. In my opinion, she's the best female heel that there is, at least currently. I don't like, what's her name, Flair. I can't stand that bitch.
Nobody likes Flair. Oh, I think
she bores the hell out of me.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known for my father's legacy. Does
everything the legacy was. Yeah. So the match itself was really, really good. I actually really liked it. Again, the Iconics did a lot of double team moves. They killed it. I think the one person who did the least was probably Nikki Cross, honestly, because I think Alexa Bliss was doing a lot of the stuff for her team for the most part.
I don't think Vince likes Nikki Cross, but I do think we're going to see more of the Tags Championship, because I believe Vince does believe in Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, definitely.
He does like her. And she's shown to be capable of carrying.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I like about this match in the past couple matches is that Alexa Bliss has actually been wrestling more.
Yeah.
Whereas beforehand, she's kind of like real standoffish. She'll try and back away.
She's healed now.
She'll do more of the sneaky attacks. And now they're trying to show her that, this girl can wrestle.
I think her injuries lasted a lot longer than originally perceived, and she probably was like holding back.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, the reason why she's getting all the offense basically is pretty much, hey, look, she's perfectly fine now.
Yeah.
And also try to knock some ring rust off, I guess, because she's got to have some of it. I mean, not really. She looked really good in this match.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're going to use the women's tag champions more often, but against who really? Because who else do they have besides the Iconics, which is an actually legit tag team, and I think they're only legit tag team.
Well, they got the Kabuki Warriors, which they pretty much squashed. But I think they're going to start building up more teams together. I think they're going to start pulling females from NXT and things like that. Why
can't the Sky Pirates just stay together? Why does it have to be the Kabuki Warriors?
What did you say?
Wasn't the Sky Pirates in NXT, or what were they?
Who the Sky Pirates?
Who wasn't one of the girls from the Kabuki Warriors the tag team in NXT with someone else?
No, there was no tag teams in NXT.
That was in Japan.
In Japan. Oh, okay then.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought that was a tag. Okay.
No, there was no women's tags in NXT.
See, I could have sworn there was something in NXT with her.
No. So, anyways, the match overall was pretty good. I really do like how it came out. I think all the girls did a really good job. I think. God, I love Peyton Royce. God, that girl's so freaking bad, dude. I love her. Between her and Alexa Bliss, I'm just like, wow, which do I want more? I clearly lean a little bit towards Alexa Bliss because I like them tiny.
For me, it's a coin flip. They're both like...
They're both be bad, right? Yeah, I know. But overall, it comes down to, Billie Kay comes in, tries to break him up, the fight, and then Nikki Cross comes in, takes out Billie Kay, and then Peyton Royce is on the ground or on the mat. And then Alexa Bliss does the Twisted Bliss, pins her for the 1, 2, 3, and they retain their titles. And she looks so fly in her Buzz Lightyear gear, dude. That's all I'm saying. I want a toy of that, Mattel. Like, give me that toy. That was awesome.
I actually really did like that ending.
Yeah. So, what did you guys give the match? 1 out of 5.
I would give it a 4. It was a really fun match.
Pretty solid, right? Yeah. You?
4, good ending.
Yeah, I think so. I'm about the same 4. I think it was a pretty good match. And again, I love Alexa Bliss. I love Peyton Royce. I love all those girls, honestly. Even Nikki Cross. I hope they do more with her later on. So, what do we got next?
Now we have SummerSlam proper with the...
So the actual SummerSlam show now begins. That was the main event for the kickoff, so to speak. And now we have the actual show going on.
And that is the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, the champ. The man,
right,
versus Natalya in a submission match.
Now, is it a little weird that like she's one of the top wrestlers in the business right now? They put her on the opening match. Is that weird to anybody?
Is it as weird as they would put the SmackDown Championship at the beginning of most WrestleMania?
That's weird too.
Yeah, it's just
that and the Universal title should be back-to-back matches.
I get that they want to try to grab people right away, but at the same time, it really kind of devalues the titles.
Yeah,
they're just opening with.
There's no crescendo with the matches. It's valleys. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. There's no like starts off slow and then works all the way up to the main event and then all the way up and then no, it doesn't do that.
If they want to do things properly, put the cruiserweight to open the
Yes, yeah, something. You know what I mean? But what did you guys think of the match overall?
I liked it. I'm not a big fan of Nat, but I get why they used her. Plus her legacy, she's good. I mean, I'm happy that Lynch won again.
Yeah, right. What about you?
I was actually a really big fan of Natty in this match. I think she played the powerhouse really well.
Yeah.
All of her moves look pretty convincing, and it feels like they're hard hitting.
It was kind of a botch there where she kind of sold the move before it was applied.
Yeah,
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, not every one of these matches were perfect, but
yeah, I think overall the match was excellent. You know what I mean? It had a couple things, like you said, there was a couple botches, but I think the match itself, and I love the whole submission versus submission kind of thing. I thought that was, I love that angle.
I did like that.
Yeah, and it really helped with the pacing of like, okay, who's gonna get into their hold first, and are they gonna break out? And you kind of wonder like, oh, can they reverse it into their hold? And well, you know what I mean? I love that angle. How
it was kind of a throwback to Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in that sense.
Yeah,
of just like submission move against submission.
Of course,
move.
they got to do that in Canada. You know?
Always.
Yeah. And that's okay. The only thing that made me think Natty could win is that they were in Canada and they wanted to appease the Canadian crowd. But
I could have totally seen Vince coming down and like calling it at the end.
But the thing
Vince
is, though,
Lynch.
I don't think they realize how big Becky Lynch is right now. So that even in another country, they were still marking out for Becky Lynch over their own Canadian wrestler. You know what I mean? So I think they still played it right. I'm glad Becky won too. And I like Natty, but her personality is so bland. But she's a great wrestler, and that's the problem. She's a great wrestler.
I think she lost kind of. I think she could have lost in a stronger way.
Maybe I can see that. But
I think
overall,
the way she lost was kind of weak.
Yeah,
she deserved a little bit better.
Yeah. But Becky Lynch wins, and again, I overall think that was a really great match. So, what would you rate the match?
I'll go 3.5.
3.5. All right. What about you?
Mine 4. 4 out of 5.
4. Yeah, I'm gonna say a 3. You know, I think it was a good match. I think it could have been better because both girls are, in my opinion, fantastic wrestlers. My issue with the whole thing was that there was no story, a lot of build up to it. It had a week and a half or 2 weeks of build up, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Which is the running theme. And
it was a good match. It just had overall let's put it this way: by Raw, this match does not matter.
Yeah,
none of the story mattered at all. There's nothing to it.
The last couple pay-per-views.
Yeah, we're already on to the next feud.
The last couple pay-per-views don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, what do we got next?
Okay, after that, we had Dolph Ziggler versus Goldberg.
Okay, now screw you guys. I love Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is
on record
money. Hold on. This dude's so good. He's good on the mic. He's a talented wrestler. I admit his character is a little whack because they're not giving him legit chances to
boring. Boring. He turns heel.
I don't know, dude. Hold on.
For the last 6 years, I'm going to be face and change everything. Same exact personality, same exact song, almost same exact intro. Different color pants, though.
So, but now, is that Ziggler's fault? Because, okay, whether you don't like him or not, what his character is, he only has so much he's allowed to do with his character.
The way he talks about his relationship with Vince and everything like that, I think he has enough leeway with him to do something he might want. I think him copying everyone's entrance was as clever as he will ever get.
That was actually really funny.
It was.
I thought it was too, actually.
Yeah, that was actually really funny.
It was
I love
for
that.
a little bit. I got tired of it fast, but only because of my bias against him.
I loved his whole era with him and with Big E and AJ Lee. You see, I love that era, dude. That was like the top Ziggler era right there.
I dipped out of that era.
So good. Yeah.
I didn't come back until just after Punk left, or right before Punk left, I came back.
Okay, so this match was with Goldberg of all things, and everybody thought it was going to be with Shawn Michaels. This was basically a match for Goldberg to apologize for that whole Saudi Arabia show, right?
It really was.
That's really what it came down to.
That's all it was.
And
it's all it really needed to be, too. I really liked it. It was classic Goldberg.
Oh, yeah. Very classic. It was a very short match.
But first things first. Pyro.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
The sparklers coming out of the ground.
My God.
Yeah.
It was a good spear. It was a great sell by Ziggler. I don't really understand what happened after the match with the 3 additional spears. Like, if it was just Goldberg saying, I'm sorry, here, have some fun with it, that's fine. But now you're just doing it at the expense of Ziggler. Ziggler could have walked away with some dignity.
He's getting super buried.
And now he's getting super buried.
But didn't it carry over to Raw?
Yes,
it did.
With who was it? Who?
The Miz.
The Miz.
The Miz.
He's like, oh, you're a punk, Miz. They did the same thing, Goldberg. You couldn't beat me more than once, blah, blah, blah.
You're not a man. You couldn't face me once.
Now I could understand him doing that.
It's just a flesh wound.
I understand him doing that with the Miz. It's fine. how are you gonna talk smack about Goldberg like that?
Well, honestly, I thought it was pretty funny. It was actually pretty comical. I
hold
enjoyed it.
And Goldberg has one of, if not the best spear, unlike Crappy Edge.
Yeah,
or Charlotte.
Oh yeah. Well, that's about the same level right there, man. Yeah. But overall, like I said, I think it was a great match. It was a classic Goldberg match. It did what it needed to do for Goldberg. Now with this whole Ziggler thing, kind of overdoing it with him getting his butt kicked, I don't know what that's going to lead to.
I think Ziggler's kind of aware of where the fans kind of stand with him for the most part.
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of like giving us what we want in that sense.
So I doubt it, but I'm hoping this leads to something better for him because he deserves better because he's so good.
I mean, they keep teasing a push for him. I do want to see something happen.
I actually wasn't expecting a short match. I mean, I was hoping I'd get a classic Goldberg match. Like that first Brock Lesnar match was great.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say?
I don't know. I read your mind, homie.
Why do you work on that? I was, honestly, I was expecting a longer, drawn-out match.
You think so?
I was worried about that.
That's right, yeah.
Because they were talking about, like, I
was kind of expecting more respect for Dolph Ziggler in that sense, but it's Goldberg.
Yeah, over Goldberg, not happening. People. Yeah, over Goldberg, not going to happen. Yeah, and they were saying, commentary was saying that Dolph Ziggler really wants to make this match last as long as it can because Goldberg only wrestled like 3-minute matches. He never wrestled longer than that. And
don't tell me that's not.
You could tire him out, then Dolph Ziggler has a chance, and that sure as hell did not happen.
Yeah.
So overall, I liked it. I thought it was a good match. It did what it needed to do, in my opinion. I think it was literally just there to say, for Goldberg fans, I'm sorry I screwed up in Saudi Arabia. Let me take it back for you guys a little bit and squash this dude real quick. So overall, what did you give the match? What would you rank the match?
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5?
Yeah,
okay.
Out on that.
I can see that.
Goldberg.
I get it. Totally get it. What about you?
5 out of 5.
Yeah, you know what? I'm right there with you guys. I totally agree. It's a straight up classic Goldberg match. If you needed more or you expected more, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
We didn't need a long Goldberg match. We didn't need a 10-15 minute match with Goldberg. No. That would have looked depressing in my opinion. It just did exactly what we needed to do.
Especially with like the kind of cardio Ziggler has.
Yeah.
You would have been wrestling circles around Goldberg.
Yeah, and we don't want that. We don't want our legends to look like just mush.
Yeah.
Ziggler sold the spears great. He sold Goldberg great.
And that's what I'm saying. I like about Ziggler. He, in a way, he oversells like Shawn Michaels does. And I love that about Shawn Michaels, you know what I mean? And I love that about Ziggler. So, all right, so after this, what match do we got next?
Okay, after that, we had the United States Championship up for grabs between AJ Styles of the OC. Versus Ricochet.
Quick question. What does the OC stand for?
From what I hear, it stands for multiple things. The only club that matters, the original club.
You see, I thought it stood for original club.
Yeah, it's multiple things technically. Yeah. But anyways, okay, damn, I love both these guys, dude.
All right, so before we continue with that, I do want to get to the whole Baylor meeting up with the OC at the pre-show.
Oh, right before they went out.
Yeah, we have to address that.
Okay, so they're backstage with the OC, and they see Finn Balor backstage getting ready for his match, and they kind of play and hint towards maybe a little reigniting of the Bullet Club, the two sweep.
The whole two sweep.
Yeah,
like, you used to get that little crap.
Yeah, come on, man. You used to be a tough guy too. You're one of us.
He looked tempted.
He did.
All I'm saying, it got me a little hard.
Yeah, definitely. I was there salivating. I was like, oh baby, make it happen. That's what Daddy wants. I want that. I want him because now we'll talk about it a little later. But obviously Finn Balor's gonna be gone for a while, so I'm hoping by the time he comes back. Yes, they've already said yes.
He's taking a vacation, or is
it's gonna be like gone for 2-3 months.
You see, what I would hope would happen was he would face. I mean, we're skipping ahead, but just to land on this real fast, I would hope he would face off against Bray one more time as the Demon, lose as.
Well,
the Demon.
I think he's gonna do that when he comes back. Okay, but I think after that point, I think eventually he's gonna end up coming back. That's what I'm hoping. I can't say it's gonna happen. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because I think it makes perfect sense for them to do the Fiend versus the Demon.
It has to. What I would like is like him facing off with the Demon right now, just after this. Yeah. Him destroy the Demon. Yeah. Him come back and then come back with the
rejuvenate
OC.
himself. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
That would be good.
That whole scene just backstage was money.
Oh yeah.
And you could hear the fans like, yeah, we want all of them together and totally marking out.
Just call it the club.
Yeah,
just call it the club.
You know what I mean? I think that'd be awesome. But will it happen anytime soon?
No.
They've hinted at it a few times. multiple times
If
actually.
he's taking that extended stay, then that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so yeah, and I'm expecting that. But
Yeah,
overall, that was
it's
still
great.
great. But the match itself was incredible. I love AJ Styles. He's one of my top guys in wrestling, period. I love Ricochet. I think Ricochet is the future of this business, genuinely. And his ring attire was dope.
Yeah.
It was based on Nightwing from the Batman comics. I thought it was so killer,
It
dude.
decided to me like about 5 minutes to piece it
Are
together.
you serious?
I was so
Leave my
oblivious
house.
to it.
Leave my house. You are no longer
I was like,
welcome.
why does that look so familiar?
While I do like the ring
What is
here,
it?
I gotta say I'm tired of having all these high flying wrestlers being labeled as superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing is with them, they're accentuating that. They're trying to make that even more so. Oh, the WWE's resident superhero,
We get
Ricochet.
it. The MCU is popular.
We get it. He does high flying moves.
It didn't work with Neville.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Well, this is classic.
He was the king of the cruiserweights, bro.
Yeah, but he wasn't a superhero at that point.
Yeah.
I think this is just like the time. God, which wrestler was it? Oh, that's right. Seth Rollins, the Kingslayer, was when Game of Thrones was as his peak.
Yeah,
he became the Kingslayer to emulate that.
yeah.
I think with the high flyers and MCU and comic book movies being popular.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think I love the ring gear. I actually like when they come out with all their inspired ring gear, different things. Like was it on NXT? Johnny Gargano came out as Wolverine gear. I thought that was super
that was this
dope.
past one.
Yeah, this past one over the weekend. I thought his ring gear was dope. It was like old school '90s X-Men Wolverine. I loved it.
That was the only show I could catch this week.
The match was great, dude. I love when these two guys go at it. Clearly, there was no way in hell they were going to let Ricochet win this match. There was no way. As much as they're pushing the OC and they're trying to make him this dope heel faction, because I'm trying to think, there's no other heel faction besides the guy Undisputed Era on NXT. There's no heel faction.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm loving the fact that they're bringing back stables.
Yes, we need more of that. Yes. And if they could add Finn Balor to this, man, they could dominate the main roster, dude. I would love that.
And if they do bring back stables in full like that, that can actually breathe new life into New Day.
Yeah. So I think that'd be really cool. Again, I love the match overall. I think both these guys know exactly what they're doing. They're total professionals. I can kind of tell that AJ Styles was totally the ringleader in this particular match. Kind of guiding Ricochet here and there.
I mean,
you can tell, yeah.
He is a ring general.
Oh, definitely. And but I love the whole dynamic with was it Gallows and Anderson on the outside, getting their little nicks in here and there, classic heel stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're working that heat really, really good. And overall, AJ Styles wins and retains his title, as he freaking should. And it's great that because all three of those guys are champions right now, right? Because
Gallows and
Anderson on the Raw titles,
just like the New Day.
Yeah, and Kuwinky Day.
Yeah, you want to talk about stables and all that.
Yeah, dude. So that was great. So overall, I love that match. I loved everybody involved in that match.
One spot I really loved about that whole match was the whole Ricochet using Gallows and Anderson to do a Hurricane Rana.
Yes, that was fantastic.
That was
even the commentators were like, what was that? What was that about? Yeah, that was great. So overall, what would you rank that match?
I'll say 5 out of 5. Ricochet pulled off a classic Nightwing move here and there.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
He definitely honored that costume.
Okay, what about you?
I was expecting 5 out of 5, and I got a 5 out of 5 match.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the storytelling because Ricochet is one of the few people that can actually sell a leg injury the entire time.
That was great.
Yeah.
He ain't no Seth
performing
Rollins.
a bunch of moves on
the one leg. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that thing when he did that hop off the ropes.
Yeah.
With the one leg, and I was like, how the hell does he
And
do
you saw him
that?
setting up like, okay, and he's
then-
still setting the pain of the knee.
Even on one leg, he does it pretty easily, which is crazy. It shows his physicality is
And then,
on point.
further in the match, as AJ keeps being it down, the less on the top ropes he gets.
Mm-hmm.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
It was a great way to tell a story.
There was
Yeah.
real storytelling in this match.
Yeah, and that's why I said both those guys are solid workers. They know exactly what they're doing, and overall, in my opinion, a really good match.
JBL said that he thought that AJ Styles is this generation's Shawn Michaels.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
One thing I do
can
like
see that.
about this whole thing, it kind of shows that they're giving Ricochet the classic uphill hero story. Like he's gonna have to work his way. It's not just handed to him.
And hopefully, I don't want them to overdrag it too much. Because I don't want people to get sick of him. You know what I mean? Because I can already tell people are getting sick of Rollins right now, and I don't want to get sick of Ricochet because I really like Ricochet.
Then again, Rollins is doing that to himself.
Yeah, he panders too much. Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on here. What do we got next?
Okay, we got the SmackDown Women's Championship between Bayley and Ember Moon.
Okay, I don't care about this match at all. Go ahead.
Neither do I.
Really?
I don't care.
All right.
I don't care. Like, Bailey's cool. You know what I mean? I'm over her little, like, perky, happy, want to hug everybody gimmick.
Well, that's the thing. She actually wrestled very aggressively in this match.
Yeah,
It looked pretty convincing.
Every once in a while, they try to make her, I'm a tough Bailey. Like, I don't care.
I think they worked well together.
Yeah, they do.
You know,
yeah.
they did.
Both those girls are really talented.
Oh, I didn't know there was any real setup to this story. First of all,
There wasn't, and that's
Exactly.
that's a part of my problem.
once again, the running theme with WWE.
The Bailey said, I'm gonna give Ember
Ember
Moon a
Moon,
title
that's
match,
right,
and
that's
we're
what
just like,
really was the
what?
setup.
Why?
because of reasons.
There was no ranking system. She didn't earn the title. I think I'm going to give Ember Moon a match. Okay, that's the Summer Slam match. That was stupid. I don't care.
Look, we're progressive.
Yeah, what about you? Did you like the match?
I actually did think it was a solid
The match itself was decent.
It was
Okay.
well paced. It was,
Yeah, I just don't
well
care.
paced by both of them.
All right. Well, I guess that's all we have to say about that.
Yeah,
one,
so
then.
what do you rank that match?
Bailey did win. Bailey to Belly, and I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, you?
3.5. It was okay.
I'll give it a solid 3. It was a good match, but I just don't care. So anyways, next up.
Next up, we have the KO versus Shane McMahon match.
Let me just
If
say
KO,
this.
If KO loses, he
He
quits.
quits.
Let me just say
Okay.
this about the whole Shane McMahon thing.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay, so what is that your entire feeling about the match?
No, actually, wow, I wrote a lot about Charlotte. Go figure. Now, for someone that really dislikes her, I
Yeah.
really was detailed about her match.
Yeah.
That being said, there's nothing much to say. I was really tense because I don't want Shane winning. Because they've had the whole thing where KO loses his job and he just goes to the next promotion.
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
And that's kind of what
So-
I was thinking too. Like if
I
he
didn't
lost,
think-
he's just gonna go Raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Not-
There was no real worry about him losing or
Yeah.
carrying. Just Shane winning meant more Shane, and when he lost, I was like, great, no more Shane.
Yeah.
And then SmackDown hits and more Shane still.
Yeah, is what it is. What about you?
I felt that, this whole feud's gone on way too long.
Yeah.
Especially with the
Shane
addition.
McMahon's gone way too long.
And with the addition of Elias as a special guest enforcer, whatever that position is.
Yeah.
It was really dumb. Once again, Elias with nothing better to do apparently than to just be Shane McMahon's lapdog.
Okay, here's the thing.
Just like SmackDown, where he was supposed to have the day off and he was the enforcer again.
Yeah, I really like Kevin Owens. I genuinely love
He's
Kevin
great.
Owens.
I love him in this feud.
I do not like face Kevin Owens.
I don't mind face Kevin Owens.
I don't like it. It doesn't seem
You don't
genuine.
like this?
I guess because like I've followed Kevin Owens since the Indies, and he's always been an iconic heel.
Yeah.
And I've seen his heel work. He's one of the best. He's up there with Piper as far as I'm concerned. And seeing him as face, it just doesn't feel right.
Because I don't think he's going to be like face. I think he's going to be
He's an anti-hero kind of thing.
anti-hero.
Yeah.
I think once he's done with Shane, I think he's going to see more of the lane. I hate to say it like this, but right channel for it, chaotic neutral.
What a nerd! What a nerd!
Remember all my
Yeah,
29s?
I know what you're saying, but I don't know. I like him like super heel.
I mean, the fact that he took the stunner and Stone
Yeah.
Cold has talked to him about it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he probably will go more anti-establishment.
Yeah, which is cool for a while, but I don't want him to be a super baby face.
He's not. I don't think he's going to be super
I
baby
don't like that at all.
I don't think he has it in him, but if he does, I think he can pull it off a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
just
And
don't
he's
think
good
he
on the
does want
mic.
to.
He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. He knows how to work the crowd. He knows how to get
he
the crowd
does.
behind him and whatnot.
Back when he first started, and everyone would call him fat and all these
Yeah.
other things, and he would just throw those. He was like, "Oh yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
He had some pretty good witty moments.
So the match overall, I think was decent. I think it was a pretty. Actually, I think it was a pretty good match overall.
it was a good match. It was a
And what
good
I
match.
like oh my god.
Let's face it, Kevin Owens
Shane.
carried
Shane.
Shane.
I was gonna say Sean. I was gonna say Shane McMahon actually sells the stunner pretty good.
He's had
A lot better than his dad.
Yeah.
A lot better than his dad.
Well, there was that
his dad
one
could not
stunner,
sell.
what, 1 or 2 SmackDowns ago that he completely botched.
Well, he like missed it completely.
Like he hit
'Cause
he
he
hit
did-
the
his
stunner.
timing was horrible.
He sold
Yeah.
it before it was hit.
yeah.
And then Kevin Owens had to pick him up
Back
again.
up and do it again, and then he did it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we're good. We fixed it. And then when they show recaps, they would edit that part out.
He had like 20 years of practice.
Yeah.
Come on.
So it was pretty good. I think the match was overall pretty decent.
As a side note, best person that ever sold the stunner, The Rock.
The Rock, definitely. Oh yeah, that's a fucking definite.
Just yeah.
So what would you rate the match?
5 out of 5. Kevin Owens, I love him. He's a great guy. Great
All right.
wrestler. Great moves.
Cool. You?
I gave it a 3 out of 5 just because I'm just not so much sick of seeing Shane wrestle. It's just
He can't wrestle.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he really dragged down the match. His strikes looked so sloppy.
Yeah.
He got gassed after about 5 minutes.
Let me be clear. I'm not giving.
I was happy he didn't get concussed in this match.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm happy he was able to walk away. That's all I'm going to say about the match. It was a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not giving Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens a 5 out of 5. I'm giving Kevin Owens a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
He definitely carried Shane McMahon.
And I'm gonna say the same. I think it's I'm about 3.5. You know, I mean that was mostly for Shawn Michaels, fucking Kevin Owens. You know, I think Shane does a good job. He does what he needs to do, and he knows what he's doing. He's working the heat like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And like everybody's hating his guts right now, even though we all know this is kind of BS and it's just storyline, blah blah.
Unfortunately, it's more Shane McMahon.
And the thing is, and that's the part of working the heel. You're like, oh god, I have to deal with more Shane. He's doing his job as a heel, and I've always said the McMahons are the greatest heels. And Shane is doing the exact same thing. He's following his dad's footsteps of being like a really good heel to the point where you're just like, fuck this guy. You know what I mean?
I feel today Shane McMahon is a little flat.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, time.
Yeah, it's gonna happen eventually. So all right, so what did I say? 3.5. Yeah, that's about right. So what do we got after that? What next match?
We had Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus
For no reason.
Okay, so this is another match I don't care about.
Okay.
I don't like Charlotte. I don't know about you guys. I don't like Charlotte.
I don't either.
A lick. I don't like her at all. Trish was surprisingly good.
Just slow.
She was a little slow, but she was surprised. Yeah, she was surprisingly good. Charlotte won, right?
Let me see.
Didn't Charlotte win?
Charlotte did win.
Unfortunately,
So that's one of those things where, like, obviously they don't want to bury one of their top women right now.
Yeah.
At the same time, it from what I hear, this was a retirement match for Trish.
Yeah, she's saying this
is her official retirement match. That's why she wanted to be in Canada, and that's why she lost. This was to pass on the torch to the next generation.
Why wait so long?
I don't know. I know. Well,
I mean, she was a great diva.
No, but I think it's mostly because she became a mom, and she needed time to get back to her physical capabilities.
Was she trying to come back this entire time, and then just said, you know what, too much time passed by?
No, I think she was just being a mom.
She just wants a proper send off.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think that's all it was.
And it was good, and it was a very solid match for her to go out on.
Yeah,
it was a great match.
And I think the match was overall pretty good. I just don't like Charlotte.
I was a huge fan of Trish Stratus growing up.
Yeah.
Definitely, I had a huge crush at the time.
Yeah.
Glad to see her back. Sad to see her leave if this was her retirement match.
Yeah.
She looked great, especially for being gone for so long and having so little time to train. Like you said, just a little slow, but glad to see she could still pull off a lot of moves.
Yeah.
Though, like you said earlier, Adrian, like there was a few times where they set up for her for a move, and you could tell it was a setup.
Yeah. You could tell they were like kind of anticipating the moves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A bit. Yeah.
And even the moves themselves were just slow.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? Actually, I'm going to give Charlotte Flair a lot of credit for this match.
It was a good match.
She had to carry it. She had to carry it. Yeah.
And she looked good. Once again, real hard hitting, looked real impactful, real believable.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a solid match. I don't know if you're doing ratings yet. We're doing ratings yet.
Yeah, we could do rating. What's your rating?
I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
When I was expecting like way less.
Yeah. What about you?
This is the first time Charlotte Flair has actually entertained me in a match in a very long time.
Yeah.
In a while, at least.
I could agree to that. I still don't like her.
I don't like her either.
I think she did a good job with this match. And
any chance I get, I to make fun of her, but I will compliment her.
Yeah.
She had a good match. She definitely carried it.
I think that was the proper person to give Trish her last match.
Yeah, it's a good one.
When I look at the roster, I think having Charlotte as a legacy wrestler, she was the right person to give Trish. Yeah,
and she went out to a legacy move.
Yeah, I think it actually worked out. I loved it when Trish actually put the figure 8 on Charlotte.
That was great.
And she did it very good.
She did it well.
She bridged better than Charlotte. I was like, her body was bent. I'm like, dang, Trish,
I'll say this.
Loved it.
If she didn't retire within 2 more months,
she could probably still go.
She'd probably still go.
Yeah, I think so.
Do at least like 1-2 more years as a proper send off. Win the women's championship. Like the Raw SmackDown one.
Yeah, as like I think she could have been one of those people who got like kind of like Goldberg did, a farewell title run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would have liked to have seen that.
That'd have been cool. It would have been believable, I think.
I think Charlotte Flair gave her a good send-off. I'm glad that happened. I thank you, Charlotte, for putting on a good show on that one.
Yeah, so I give it a 4. I think it was a solid match. It wasn't perfect because it was, like I said, it was a little slow and Charlotte had to carry it. But overall, I was into it. I was actually watching it. I was like, this is solid.
Yeah.
This is really solid.
And this was another one that kind of just got set up on the fly of just because of reasons.
Exactly. But you know what? Because it involved a legend, I didn't care. I was cool with it.
But you know the way they kind of set up the reason why was she just wanted to come back and see what she's still
Right.
Yeah.
It's
like, that's kind of like, okay, on the fly, I can buy that.
Unlike the Bailey thing where it's like, I'm just going to give Ember Moon a match.
But once again, proper send-off.
Stupid.
Unlike Angle and who did he face
Baron.
Baron.
God, let's not bring that up.
What a disrespect.
Anyways, next match. What do we got?
Next match, we have the WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I low-key hated this match.
Orton bores me.
Or I've never... and when I talk about top 3 most hated wrestlers, Orton's up there with my top 3.
I liked Orton a few years back and before that when he first was introduced, but nowadays he just kind of bores me. Same guy.
Yeah, he's bland. He's been the same bland person since the beginning of his career.
Okay, he's a taller Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. So I think Randy Orton's a good wrestler. He's a good performer. He's shitty on the mic. He has no personality.
Terrible shoulders.
I hear nothing but bad things about him as a person in real life.
Yeah.
I don't care about him at all. Kofi, I love what Kofi's doing. I love his title run. I cared zero about this match, and it broke my heart once I heard Kofi was going to go against Orton. I was like, oh man, they're going to use Orton to feud with him.
Yeah.
I was so upset. I was like, he's so boring. We know Kofi was going to win. It does nothing for Kofi. It does nothing for Orton. And they're trying to we're going to fight because of something that happened 10 years ago. And that one time he pushed my head into a wall.
Which to me actually kind of makes Randy look like a racist. I was going to kind of see
trying to hold the brother down.
I held him down.
I held the man down.
I kind of took that too. I was like, you trying to hold me down? I was like, that son of a... Yeah, I know what you mean. So, did you guys like the match? Did you like it?
I liked...
You think that's Vince going do what you do, hold him down,
slips him a little extra under the table.
I don't know the fact he's getting over without me.
Yeah,
I like all the jibber jabbering in the right before the match started, where they're in the ring, having to always be constantly separated by the ref. It helped really sell the hate between them.
I will say this for this match and for all the other matches that didn't have any real story set up. The video package were the real MVPs.
It helps.
They have a great editing team.
Yeah, it helps.
They know exactly what they're doing.
So overall, I didn't like the match, dude. I like Kofi. I'm going to give the match probably 2.
You're going to say it?
Yeah.
I was going to say that really the only spot in the match I liked was this when Kofi went for his pendulum kick.
Yeah.
And Orton was able to reverse that into that draping DDT. That's the only time I've seen any sort of creativity put into setting up that move.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Other than that, the RKO was always nice looking.
Yeah.
But in terms of the match itself, I was actually expecting a lot more.
Yeah.
It was pretty
didn't get it. Yeah.
Kofi gave him a pretty good beatdown.
That easily could have been a match on Raw.
Yeah. Oh, and plus, the ending.
Yeah. Right.
That crowd turned so fast.
Yeah.
How long were they?
They were done.
And it was a 17-minute match.
It was. Yeah.
With a count out at the end.
Yeah. It was done. So what would you rank the match?
Like I said, it's still a pretty decent match. I'd give it a 3.
Yeah. What about you?
I like Kofi. I think it was an entertaining match, regardless of up until the ending.
Yeah. Which is a lame ass ending.
And it was running a little long. I'll give it a 3.
Okay. All right. Well, overall, I didn't like it at all. So let's move on. What do we got next?
I think possibly one of the most hotly anticipated matches.
Yes.
We had The Fiend versus Finn Balor.
Okay, now I love Finn Balor. One of my favorites. I've been following him for years. I've been following him for at least 10 years. He was one of those guys that when I heard he was coming to the WWE, I couldn't be more happier because I love that dude. But Bray Wyatt, oh my God,
he needs to win this feud.
He is one, in my opinion, the best workers of the past 10 years in wrestling, not just WWE, but wrestling. You give that guy a solid gimmick, you give him a good idea, and I feel like he's been lucky enough to have a heavy hand in creating his gimmicks.
He proved it. He proved he can handle it.
And he nails it.
Now, from what I hear, this is all him, right? Vince let him go.
I guarantee it's mostly 90% him. Yeah. It's him saying this, hey Vince, this is what I want to do, and Vince is like, cool, do it. You know what I mean? Instead of the opposite way around.
It's just an actual gimmick to go by.
Okay,
I love it.
So let's run this down. So Finn Balor comes out all white gear, holier than thou.
The angel.
Super angelic, super good looking guy.
That's not who you are, though.
And he came out looking cool.
He's the demon, though.
And then, unlike most of us, we're like, okay, this entrance is gonna be good. What's gonna happen?
Yeah. Like that.
So
a lot of that was gonna matter about how good that.
How we
was.
perceive the rest of the match. Okay, so the lights go off. We see the sign on the Titantron go, "Let him in," and then the music kicks in kind of slow. You start hearing a little laughing, a little creepy noises, and then his music kicks in. And what do we hear? We hear almost like a retooling of his original theme music,
which I love.
It's great.
I freaking love that song, dude.
I
was worried that they were going to give him a new song.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was worried, like, if they're going to remix a song like they did with Shinsuke, which I like too, was it going to be a crappier version and we're just going to be mad? But it was really good. Nice. And it was very metal. From what I hear, it's the same people who do Aleister Black's music. It's the same people that do his music.
Yeah, I
love Aleister Black's music.
That's another music, some music that I like, yeah.
So that music hits, and you still hearing the catching flies and all that stuff. And then it just goes into this death metal, like, raw, raw. And I was like, yes, this is dope. And then he comes out carrying that lantern, which is the head of the former Bray Wyatt. How dope is that, dude?
It took me a minute to realize what that was while I was looking at it at first.
I saw it and I was like, oh, it's his old self.
That was gross, and I
loved it. That was great.
Until they flicked on the lights and they put on the ring apron. That's
and it's that close up, and you see his mouth all stretched.
Yeah, that's the part that creeped me out the most.
And his eyes are stitched closed.
See, I can completely buy that. You know, Bray Wyatt's in the back and he's just tearing his freaking head off.
Yes,
and putting the Fiend mask
on. That was gold. And then me and some friends were talking about, like, man, that is so dark. I wonder how long they're gonna let him use that.
Well, apparently they've already.
That's what I said. They've already cut it out, huh?
Yeah, they've already cut it out.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do also hear that they're okay with it. That it's fine.
Yeah, they're not gonna retcon it.
Yeah, no. In fact, no. That they might actually be making products of the head.
I'm hoping.
Lantern.
Wow.
They just started coming out product of his new masks and his gloves and all that stuff.
No, even without the head, the mask is scary as hell.
All I'm saying is, again, I want a toy of that.
I want the mask.
With the mask and the gloves and the head lantern.
I want a replica mask.
Yeah, I think it's so dope. So he comes in, the music finishes, and Finn Balor looks like he's peeing his pants. He's like, what the hell's going on here? And it kind of reminded me of, like, old school Undertaker. When I was a kid, I kind of feared Undertaker. I was like, dude, who's this big, scary dude? And they would pan to kids in the crowd, literally shaking because they're like, I don't want to look at the Undertaker. I don't want to see the Undertaker. And that's kind of the feeling. Like, I was like, oh my god, this guy genuinely creeps me out.
When
like,
I saw the
so
Undertaker,
good.
He scared me.
Yes, and that's why I feel that they're trying to do this. They're genuinely trying to make him a horror character.
The Fiend gave me chills.
Yes, it was so good until the music stops and he's just there sitting in the corner looking evil as crap. And I was like, oh, and he stands up and the crowd is marking out and this is awesome, blah, blah, blah. And they get in, they have a dope match. The Fiend dominates most of this match. And I was actually surprised that this match didn't go longer. I didn't think it was a squash match. Finn Balor got some good licks in. He got like a coup de grace and a good drop kick here and there, blah, blah, blah. But overall, he fucking smashed him. And I like the fact how they're playing with this whole duality of personalities in the ring.
Oh, the fact he's fighting with himself?
Yeah, he has this internal struggle of his mind, and he's like, I don't want to be this person, but you are this person. And he's like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, arguing with himself in the ring. And you notice how he was going to do the Sister Abigail, but that was his old self.
Yeah, and he put a stop to that.
Yeah, he's like, that's not you anymore. And then he ended up doing the mandible claw on him. I was like, yes.
Another in-ring storytelling.
Yes, that was
great.
Beautiful. I'm legit. I'm going to score it right now. That was a 10 out of 5. That was a great re-debut. One of the best in so many years. I love this guy. So what did you think?
I'm going to say that the new gimmick, the imagery, the storytelling in ring. Of course, Bray Wyatt's great at that. That to me was the real star of it. The match itself, I was disappointed it didn't go any longer.
Yeah, it was a semi-squash match.
Because I mean, we didn't really see any new moves other than the mandible claw and that headbutt that he used. Which, granted, like I know, and it looks very good. It looks very hard. Like it hits real hard, and it looks more ferocious than anything he's done. But it still looked pretty much just like Bray Wyatt bumped up a little bit.
Here's one thing I will add on to that.
That's all it has to be.
Yeah, and I think what I did like, when I saw was really cool, when he had a Bray Wyatt on the knees and he like snapped his neck. You remember that part?
Yeah.
I was like,
cool.
whoa, that's dangerous.
Isn't that kind of old school too?
That's dangerous,
I'm like,
dude.
somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, and I was like, did he really break his like that was really vicious.
Is that possible? Aiden, let's go emulate that.
Yeah, so that was more like how I feel like The Fiend is almost like a 1980s slasher. So I feel like he did that to imitate that
Your
whole
classic monster deal.
I just murdered Finn Balor. Like, oh my god, I thought that was fantastic.
My favorite part of the match was the ending. It was just brutal. Caught him with the mandible claw and then slammed him down and just pinned him over as Finn Balor just died.
Yeah.
You're just like, they're just looking dominating, just smothering him.
It was like that was his prey that he just killed.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it
looked
looked
like. A beast that just captured its kill and was just like, no, you're done.
I am a huge fan of the mandible claw for
him.
I just gotta say, that specific way he does it has to be the pin from here on out.
I hope so, yeah.
It has to be.
So, obviously the Fiend gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Has to.
And then go ahead.
Actually, the match brought the crowd back after that.
Yeah,
that double count out. So
yes,
good on Bray for that one.
I think they saved it for the right time in the show.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the re-debut 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
The match itself, I would really say just a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'll say it's the best re-debut since the Shocker.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, I liked it. I think with the new Bray, with the new Fiend. He can be their next Undertaker. He can be the new unstoppable monster, but he's gonna have to. And this is why I don't mind it being somewhat of a squash match. Some of these, he's gonna have to squash some stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In order to build himself up, he's gonna have.
He's done so much damage to his reputation that that's why I feel bad for Finn. I want to see Finn get a push as well, but unfortunately, he's got to lose to Bray.
The Demon's going to have to lose to the Fiend for him to be credible.
Yeah.
On top of that, I would think maybe a straight year of wins, just dominant.
That very well could be.
Almost squash 2-minute matches.
And I like how he left the ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because so the music kicked back in, the lights go off, and he's just there in the center of the ring, and then the whole stadium or whatever goes dark. And then you just start hearing laughing. You're starting that screeching noise.
Yeah.
And then he's just there at the stage, and he just turns back, and the flickering of the lights.
More than anything, that gave me goosebumps.
Right?
That gave me goosebumps.
I was like, yes, that's how you do it, Bray.
And here's what I like about that was that me and Adrian were talking right before the match, and I was saying, like, how great would it be if his intro was that weird music. He came on the front part at the entranceway, and then lights off. It clapped, and he was in the ring, and that's how the match gets started. I would love that more as the intro.
I honestly thought that's what they're going to do.
And I was a little disappointed when I first heard the music kick in, but in the end,
it caught you real quick.
It sold me. Yeah, it sold me like within 5 seconds. It was like, oh darn it, a musical intro, and then it hit. It was like 5 seconds later. Like, okay, I'm sold.
I'm good with it. Yeah,
but I was
the whole raw, power metal,
and I was really happy to see what I had talked about still be his outro, and I really hope they keep that out.
So, what would you rank the whole match overall?
3,000 out of 10 out of 5.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that this was the best moment of the entire show.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's still the show.
Yeah, definitely. All right,
that was the real main event,
in my opinion. and I've already watched that match 6 times.
Oh.
I went and watched it. I was like, I gotta see this again.
Okay,
you know what? I gotta see this again.
I haven't done that yet. I really should.
Yeah, it's so good.
The Fiend Balor match for me was the equivalent of watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I want to watch it more.
Yeah, and that's exactly
what I did.
I want
more
of
The Fiend, and I was really disappointed, but I'm also really happy he didn't show up on Raw
and what I will say, I'm hoping they don't have him on every week.
Just every so often.
What they can do, in my opinion, is that I think they should have him doing the Fire for Funhouse.
Yeah.
Every week, and cutting promos,
and then
save the Fiend, even save his in-ring stuff for pay-per-views. Cut promos twice a month, 3 times a month.
That is definitely the
and then have him come wrestle, and that's what you want to come see. You want to come see him. He's not wrestling on Raw. He's not wrestling on SmackDown. He comes to the pay-per-views, so it makes you want to watch the pay-per-views to see what he's going to do.
And
it makes him special
to push the story on Raw, and
stuff not like Brock Lesnar, where you don't see anything from him 3-4 months at a time.
Like he'll show up on.
He's still going to be on Raw and a promo. You know what I mean?
But every so often, just appear, attack, disappear, and that's it.
So I'm hoping they do that. I could talk about this all night.
This is just the one thing we hope that WWE does not screw up.
Yeah,
we can hope.
I'm begging. All the fans are pleading.
All they have to do is just let him
do his thing.
Let him have it.
This is what scares me right now. Vince is in his office. He's looking at one of his numerous sleepless nights.
Yeah.
He's doing like, how can I improve the let me look at these notes. Let me see. How can I make him better?
Oh, God.
And then the next day it's on Raw and he's ruined.
Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Overall, again, like we said.
That Sister Abigail puppet becomes his tag team partner.
That was definitely the best thing of the entire show, in my opinion.
It's the best thing in WWE right now.
I totally agree. So next up, what do we have?
I believe the actual main event.
Yeah.
Last and least.
Yeah.
Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar, the champ, and Seth Rollins.
Okay. I kind of like this match. Kinda.
It was good.
What I don't like is that they are clearly making Brock Lesnar to look like Seth Rollins' bitch. Because Seth Rollins seems to be the only wrestler in wrestling who could genuinely beat Brock Lesnar.
AJ Styles?
Well, other than Goldberg, I guess.
Yeah, well, but Brock Lesnar ultimately won that feud.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I mean, who else is, like, it's kind of weird because apparently they're making, like you said, we're talking about superheroes. They're genuinely making Rollins to be like this superhero who can crush it. He was the Kingslayer, now he's the Beast Slayer, and now he's all this, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care.
Seth to me, makes a very, very boring babyface.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when he's trying to be the super clean babyface.
Like, which we know he's not in person.
Yeah. I mean...
let's just check his bank account.
Yeah, he's a total, metalhead in person and really dark and shit like that, and he's just like...
No, he actually sounds kind of a tool in person when you read his tweets.
I don't have Twitter, so that's beyond me. So, overall, what did you think of the match?
I mean, typical, and this coming from I was a rabid fan of Brock Lesnar back in the day, and up until I want to say like 3-5 years ago. It's your typical Brock Lesnar match. Didn't he just even do another try to do another catchphrase?
Yeah.
I'm gonna torture time or something like that.
He was trying to cash in on something, but it didn't stick.
Like Suplex City.
It did not stick.
Like I'm sending you to Suplex City.
Was lightning in the bottle.
Was lightning in the bottle was great.
Which I don't think is stupid.
It is stupid.
I've never liked it.
It's so
because they beat him to death with the shirts.
Let's not
to every city he goes to.
Yeah. That's what you would typically hear of some meathead in the gym. Like
right.
But that being said, I liked it. It was a funny time and moment, and it worked because of what he was doing to John Cena.
Roman Reigns.
It was Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Again, a lot of things wrong tonight.
Yeah.
But, just seeing him try to do the torture time.
Yeah.
He's becoming kind of a tool.
Yeah.
Cartoon of himself, a parody.
Yeah.
But, 3. Your typical, I'm glad he doesn't have the belt anymore. I'm glad the belt is back at where it should be.
Yeah, and at least we'll see it often.
We'll see it often, and eventually Seth will lose it to someone, and hopefully someone else gets pushed.
Hopefully AJ Styles. Next up. What'd you think of the match?
Well, first of all, I want to say once again, Pyro.
Yeah.
You gotta point it out each and every time you see it.
Yeah, how come we don't see it that much anymore with Brock Lesnar? What they just like nah, it's too much expensive.
That's one of the entrances that needs pyro.
Yeah. Otherwise, it looks stupid.
Can you imagine Dave Bautista coming out?
Yeah, doing
that.
He's just there looking like gyrating like an idiot.
Wait, did he not come out to pyro the last time?
Who?
Against Triple H.
Who?
No, Batista. No, luckily they get Batista because, like I said, it would be stupid if they didn't.
Yeah.
But like same thing with Brock Lesnar, but they've done it with Brock Lesnar and has no pyro, and it looks dumb.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. So, anyways,
I thought it was cool. There was some cool storytelling at the beginning because this should have been like a 2-second match.
Yeah,
considering the way they set it up, but with that early curb stomp.
And like here's the thing, let's be real. Seth Rollins almost got murdered from all those chair shots and like being broken in half and being tossed off the stretcher. And I genuinely thought Rollins was like, oh my God, he's not even going to literally make it to SummerSlam. He's going to be legit injured.
Yeah.
You know
that stretcher spot was pretty brutal.
And I was like, how are they going to play this? And again, that's what kind of pisses me off. Because now they're going to make it seem like, well, Seth Rollins is invulnerable and he cannot be stopped and hurt either. But he's a little guy. Like,
you know what? I'm changing my score back to 2.5 because they focused on the ribs again. And
Yeah.
they never sold the ribs.
They
and
didn't
would
sell
the
it.
ribs.
They did it.
It was great storytelling in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then it became a very typical match, and
Yeah.
that the no selling the ribs when like, especially when you have somebody selling an injury so well like Ricochet earlier.
Yeah.
Classic injured Seth, classic Brock Lesnar. What do you
know.
expect?
So, but I would give the match, honestly, I still have fun watching it. I give it a 3.5.
Yeah, and I'm probably about the same. It was a good match. It wasn't great. I like what Brock Lesnar did. I like what Seth Rollins did. I just don't like the fact that for so long they were trying to make Brock Lesnar this unstoppable machine that no one could harm. And apparently this little Seth Rollins dude can just destroy him.
Yeah, when it really should have been Braun Strowman when they had the chance.
And especially since Seth Rollins is supposed to be half dead and crippled and serious internal injuries and all this stuff. And nope, he just happened to just destroy Brock Lesnar. It didn't sell it for me at all. I was like, this is stupid.
Like,
this is really stupid.
They made me believe in the reason why it was a longer match, but once it became a longer match, it was like, okay, well, what happened to your ribs, bro?
Yeah, we're just going to do away with everything that we built this up to be. And like I said, it was a good match. It wasn't great. I say about a 3. You know, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with Brock Lesnar not getting the title back. I'll say that. You know what I mean? I'm not big on Seth Rollins. I think he's good. A good wrestler and whatnot. I'm just not big on him being a face. He just doesn't work for me as that. And
happy that everyone that retained, except for Brock Lesnar
and Seth. No, who was it?
I would like to have seen the Iconics win.
I'm trying to think. There was only like one champion all weekend where the title switched hands.
The 24/7.
No.
Pretty sure it was that one.
Yeah, because I know everybody in NXT retained. I forgot who. Did we get any title changes on from your notes, dear? Do you remember?
The only title change I believe was Seth Rollins.
Was that the only one? Then yes. So then he was the only one that the title changed. Then yeah.
Yeah, that was the only title.
Yeah. So everyone else from all the shows.
Service ending. This is scary for WrestleMania.
So overall, I would give SummerSlam. Man, and this is mostly because of the Fiend. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. And that's like 4 points because of the Fiend, and the 1 point because of everything else. So what would you give the show overall?
4.5. Once again, the Fiend really sells it. The length and time, they really gotta learn to cut down their pre-show and everything else.
Yeah.
Make it easier for those fans over there and us watching at home because it becomes a marathon after a while.
Yeah.
But that.
And at least it wasn't an 8-hour show like WrestleMania, dude.
Oh God.
It was close.
It was
close.
That was a chore.
It was close, but dang.
I didn't even start it with you guys. I came in halfway and was still there for most of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts. What did you say? How much did you say? 3.5? 4.5?
4 out of 5.
Okay.
Because it would have been a perfect 5. Better, just a better ending match, better main event.
Yeah, I can see that. What would you give the whole show overall?
I was expecting. I had no expectations for this pay-per-view considering the way it's been going. So I would say it was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no real big spots to talk about. It was a well put together show though, so I would still give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
The only thing that sucks about it, it was a good show, but nothing's gonna carry over into Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, and I think the only thing I'm taking from this entire damn pay-per-view is the Fiend.
Yeah.
Literally nothing else that happened at this pay-per-view does not matter the next day. Literally nothing.
Because did they do anything with the tag championships after on Raw?
Which tag?
Well, they had a title match with Kabuki Warriors.
Kabuki Warriors,
and then they just buried the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, so the Kabuki Warriors aren't even a viable
threat
contender.
Yeah.
And that was the only other tag team aside from the Iconics.
Yeah. Initially,
you know who should come back? Oh, never mind, she's too injured. The Bellas. This is the only time I'd actually care for Bellas. I hate the Bellas.
They'd be a good heel team.
They'd be a good heel team.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's the only time I'd find Twin Magic acceptable.
I don't want to hear Michael Cole say Twin Magic anymore.
Oh yes. Wow. Oh my God. So all right, guys. That pretty much wraps up our review of SummerSlam 2019. It had some good things. It had some really bad things. Overall, I think we all agree that The Fiend was the ish. And in our opinions, the main event and the star of the entire show. So, for myself, BatBomb82, find me on social media on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, like and subscribe. I'd like to thank my co-hosts here, Will the Thrill and Adrian3000. Go ahead and say goodbye, guys.
Sayonara.
See you later, everybody. Once again, thanks again, Batbomb, for having us on.
All right, guys. So until next time, we're going to be trying to review more shows for you guys on the pay-per-views. And once things like AEW kick in, we're definitely going to be keeping up on those.
That's going to get sexy.
Preferably on a weekly basis. At least for a while, to really kick out what's going on, because that should be a whole revolution in wrestling as far as I'm concerned. But that was our review, so hopefully you guys like it. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.